Hello and welcome to our second training video on the use of Additio. This one is going to focus on setting up tabs to do your grades. We have first tab here by default. We can hit the plus to add other tabs. I am going to start with this one. I like to have the very first one that opens be the random student generator background. The content title is what appears on the left, and the full title is what appears under that tab menu. So this tab is now done. Okay. An unknown error occurred because I have lost internet connection. So this has nothing to do with Additio and everything to do with the local Wi-Fi. Let me try to get that reconnected. There we go. And now when we save, it works no problem. I do this because we can actually pick random students. Doesn't look like much when we only have one student. And we can set up a seating plan and pick our random student with this based on the seating plan. So this is the reason I like to have the first tab that opens by default as the random background. Sometimes I share this randomizer so the students know I'm not deliberately picking on anyone. Oh, and I'm lost internet again. And this way, I can set it up without actually showing any marks. So now, let's go our Term 1 report card. This title that we see here, if we build a report card in class, that will appear on it. So typically we have categories. For our homework, that's the way things are going to be set up. So I'm going to have a new column. Let's say this is our homework. And homework is in a category. This will average everything in that category. We don't want to tie it to a learning management system unless they get the Alberta server. But we can tie it so it can connect marks directly to Google. Let's say we're going to average it out of 100. We're going to show that it's out of 100. And we're going to have it calculate the column average. So our class averages are there. So now we have homework. And for now we're going to call it assignment 1. Just as a demonstration. This will be numeric keypad. I delete the default value. So it comes in as blank. It doesn't get recorded as zeros if I haven't actually given the assignment yet. Again, show the mark, show the column average, save, and then maybe Donald got 60 on this. When we set up the program of studies, I also set up each of these to show which skills are used in that measurement 1 criteria. So we have that 60%. If we come here, we'll see that right now Donald Blake is doing 60 in this category, and he's got 60 averages in the 3 skills used here. So this will be automatically tracked. We might also have tests. This would also be a category. Also out of 100. And we might have projects. Again, a category. And again, showing a maximum and an average. And our final category would be our quarterly midterm of the assessment. And again, there's probably only going to be one in that category, but just to be sure, I set it up as a category. And we can fill in all of our tests and projects here for the quarter. We can set up an overall grade with calculations that are a weighted mean. So when we say the weighted mean, again, show the column average and the maximum mark. We're going to omit cells without marks. So this should just show us the homework average when we're done. We're going to have the homework. Let's say the homework is worth 10%. Put a 10 here. Let's say our tests are worth 20%. Quarterly assessment is 40. And the projects are worth 30. So now we have this set up. And you'll notice that that term 1 overall at this point is based exclusively on the homework. If I put in a test, this will also be numeric keypad. And again, I strongly recommend keeping everything out of 100. Makes the averages much simpler. So even if they scored, or if the test itself was scored out of 10, we could set that up. Let's say our first test covers the entire measurement unit. Typically, we would actually do these by rubrics and break them down so we have the individual scores. Studied hard after the homework and got 70%. Now what we should see is a term 1 overall that's closer to 70 than 60 because those tests are weighted twice as much as homework, which is exactly what we see. So we can set up tabs like this for each of the 4 terms of the year to set up our report card grades. But this is how we could set this up and just keep using this plus to add whatever marks you're accumulating all the way through. And that term 1 overall will update live, provided when we set up that calculation, we said omit cells without mark. That will give you a running tally as we go.